soon as they mention Fantastic Four, obviously the first name that people want to talk about is Doctor Doom. Get that. But very close second is, are we getting Galactus? I personally think in a live action environment, Galactus is a ridiculous idea. A guy who goes around and eats planets. You can't have good character interaction with that. You can't have, what Ben Grimm going to go up and punch him in the nose? But be that as may, awesome comic book character. The way they use Galactus in the comics is iconic and fantastic. But a lot of people thought they would be doing Galactus. I admittedly did not think they would do Galactus. At least not yet. But I did not think, if you had asked me last week, put $5 on it, do I think they'll do Galactus in the first Fantastic Four? I would have said no. Well, I'd be out $5. Because according to the Hollywood Reporter, Fantastic Four cast Ralph Ineson as Galactus. The actor, known for genre works such as The Witch and Game of Thrones, is in talks to play a very big bad for Marvel. By the way, he was also in a number of the Harry Potter films. He was in The Creator recently. But The Witch is where I fell in love with the dude's acting. I loved him in The Witch. Robert Eggers, very underrated film. I don't know why some people don't like it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And the dude has the voice. I never thought of him. Never thought of him when we were fan IDing Galactus. But as soon as they said his name, I'm like, yeah, that's the voice. This is what the Hollywood Reporter has to say. The Fantastic Four, meet your villain. Ralph Ineson, the British actor whose 3-decade career ranges from Harry Potter movies to recent horror prequel, The First Omen, which I think Rob likes a lot, has landed the plum part of Galactus, the antagonist, in Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. The high-profile, big-budget outing, The Fantastic Four's first under the Marvel Cinematic Universe umbrella, has been casting up in recent weeks ahead of a planned mid-summer shoot in England. So, in Fantastic Four news, we got John Malkovich joined, and then we found out we are number one getting Galactus, and assuming he's not going to put on a big costume with a Cuisinart on his head, the guy who will be maybe mocapping and voicing Galactus, and I like everything I'm hearing. Listen, I trust Kevin Feige. I do. I'm not going to lie. I am still a little iffy on the idea of using Galactus. I'm still a little bit at a loss as how do you bring, to borrow a phrase of Rob's, any verisimilitude to a Fantastic Four when their antagonist is somebody who eats planets? What does the Fantastic Four do? Well, John, in the comics, I get that, but things play differently on a comic page than a screen. But if you are going to do Galactus, man, they knocked it out of the park with the guy to be him. We want to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. My favorite spring cleaning takeaway is the post-clean clarity you get. Wow, how have I been living like this? It's kind of like when you find out that you've been paying a fortune for wireless when Mint Mobile has phone plans for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. My last mobile service provider was quite good, but ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've enjoyed even better coverage, better phone clarity, and I'm paying less than a third of what I paid to my old provider. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bills to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Anyway, Chris, you saw about this. What do you think about, number one, the fact that we were even getting Galactus in the first one? Did you think they would? What do you think about the casting choice? Your thoughts?
I didn't think we would start with Galactus. I'm going to be honest. I thought we were going to build to that. And I know we talked about this last week too, was this is a character that does need to be a voiced character, probably not actually physically on screen, much like a Dormammu, and that voice is so important. So when this name first came out, it was Finchy from The Office. I don't really remember him from Harry Potter. Gosh, what has he done? And then I realized that in Final Fantasy 16, he is Sid. He is the voice of Sid. And boy, howdy, is that a great voice. He has such a wonderful timbre. He has such texture in his voice. He's so good. That character is incredible. I could talk about it all day. And so knowing that performance, because obviously I don't watch a lot of horror, guys, so I'm not familiar with him in The Witch. I need to see it. But I think he is going to just be
you
such...
should probably not watch The Witch.
Jonathan, we were just talking about it. He thinks I can handle it.
It's not slasher.
I
Because
hope
it's
you
not
don't.
slasher.
Yeah, it's not a slasher. No eye violence.
Yeah, no eye violence, no things like that.
There's a goat, but you know.
Yeah.
There's a goat, but that's funny.
They pee on each other's faces. You know, what happens to a goat happens to a goat. But
That's half of Hollywood. So
that's true. So I think an actor like him who has that rich voice and such an incredible background in all kinds of different mediums of acting is really going to deliver a cool performance for this character.
So here's my worry about a Galactus. To me, somebody in the live chat brought up Unicron in Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Says, oh, John, they made it work. No, that's a perfect example of why it doesn't work for me. Because Unicron in Rise of the Beasts isn't a character. He's a consequence. Unicron is the consequence. You know, Optimus had the other guy, even forget, but this is kind of how forgettable Rise of the Beast was. But the main antagonist in the movie was another...
Scourge.
Scourge?
Sorry.
And that was the main antagonist. Unicron was the consequence. And that's how I fear Galactus will be. And Galactus isn't a character in it. He's a consequence. He's the earthquake that's coming. He's the tidal wave that's coming. So, but again, I will trust,
Matt Shackman.
I will trust Matt and Kevin Feige and all that kind of stuff. Now, Dominic Ray in the live chat is saying, John, you forgot about Arsham. Arsham, again, in that movie, was a consequence. He wasn't the main thing they had to fight, right? That was Rob Snow, or Rob Stark. That ended up being the main thing they really had to fight, and it was all about Arsham talking, and we're going to hatch this thing out of the planet. They were really more the consequence than anything else. So I hope they can find a way to make Galactus not just this impending consequence that's coming, but rather truly find a way to make him a real character in the movie. And if they can, hats off. And there's anybody who can do it, it's going to be these guys. Again, I trust Matt. Matt, of course, did such a marvelous job on WandaVision. Mm-hmm. And what he was able to do with bringing characters to life and really make them feel, fantastic and grab our attention and grab our empathy and all that kind of stuff. If he can do that in Fantastic Four, man, he's going to vault himself to legendary status. And here's why. Because others have tried. We have had decades of them trying to make Fantastic Four movies. We've had different iterations of Fantastic Four movies, and they've all failed, depending on your definition of failure. And if Matt Shackman, all I can think about whenever I say his name is Margot Robbie's husband in the Saturday Night Live skit.
Oh, yeah, Matt Shack.
Matt Shat. You married a Kennedy, and you put a shat on it. But Matt Shackman, he's going to be able to do it. Kevin Feige, so we'll see how it all turns out. I don't know, like, Ray, you like the idea of Galactus? I think you were kind of happy about this when you heard it.
I didn't think they were going to announce, or he was going to come into that early, like Chris. What's funny is that we've got all the announcements except Doom so far, as we know, right?
Yeah, the Doom's the one guy we're waiting on.
Maybe he's the one that's going to be left out of this first film. But I think if they're going to go Galactus, I think they're really trying to win over a lot of people who've been disappointed by all the Me, I'm not even looking forward to this movie. The only thing I'm looking forward to is Pedro Pascal, really.
I was
just
brutally
seeing him
honest.
in the MCU.
Right.
But like I just believe that the Fantastic Four has always been a little boring to me. They need to get in on the space aspect. For me, this is just for me personally. The space aspect, and make me care about their family, as in their bond together. That's the only way this actual comic book franchise will actually get me to care. Because if I don't see them as being like, oh, the brother's looking out for the sister, plus with all that sciencey stuff in the middle of it, then there's nothing there for me to even or even be interested
They
in.
go to
There's a-
space, maybe.
I feel like for you, based on like how much you love Nova and some of those other characters and like a young Spider-Man, I think this iteration of Johnny Storm might really vibe with you if he is that young, cocky, hot-headed
Yeah.
kid, and especially because it's it's Joseph Quinn
Right.
from Stranger Things. So I think that might be maybe a nugget to get you in there.
I mean, I'm not dumb. I'm with everyone. That I'm going to be there opening night.
Now, look,
But they got to get me after this movie if I really
Sure.
care about seeing them afterwards. Because all the other Fantastic Fours, I didn't need all those movies.
nobody
No one
did.
did.
Nobody did. So
You
there's
didn't
some,
want him
there's some
dancing?
debate and discussion going on in the live chat about whether or not like Doctor Doom needs to be there. I think you got to have You have to have at least Victor in the first film. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to be the ruler of Latveria at this point. He doesn't necessarily need to be whatever, but I don't know that you can do this without Victor at least being there.
We've only got one Easter egg from him so far in this MCU, right? In Moon Knight, wasn't there an Easter egg?
Well,
with
there was something
where he
some
was
people thought
mentioned-
the ice cream truck
something
Yeah.
or something
Or
like
that was
that.
just like
I don't
a
even
little-
think that was an Easter
that was
egg. to
fan
be honest.
service then.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm not even sure it was a legit thing. I don't even know if it was really an Easter egg or people just interpreted it as that. But we'll see, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? It is a big day, or at least a big 24-hour period for Fantastic Four news. The John Malkovich thing, which we already previously discussed. And now confirmation, we've got Doctor Doom. We've got Galactus with Ralph Ineson going to be in there with his incredible voice. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Has this moved the needle for you on the Fantastic Four project? I'm getting more and more excited about it. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.